Okay, welcome back. We're going to continue on our classes on Daat Elokim, which is an introduction to the Kabbalah of the Arizal. We're going to be learning the system. Now we're on page Chaf of Daat Elokim. Sorry, I made a mistake. It's Yud Dalet. Okay. Now we're going to learning what's called the Atzilut Ak. Atzilut Ak. Let's see what that means. So we learned already in the previous classes that Hashem created a space for us. We gave the mashal of a person walking into a room which is very, very lit, and you could not use the room whatsoever, so he dimmed the light. That's the makom panui, rekam. That is our space where we will be created. Allah be'ratzon Hashem yizbarach la'atzil betocha nitzalim, that He created in that place like a working space in order for us to be created. In order to create all that was going to become our world and all the subsequent spiritual worlds. There's nothing that exists outside this place. So you imagine all the universes, and they talk about this infinite amount of universes, infinite amount of worlds. I'm talking about the physical world. That's all included within that little space, that 360-degree ball that Hashem created, that vacuum for us to exist. That's all within that. There's nothing else outside of that. And כולם בתוכו, כל בחינה בחינה במקום מיוחד לפי מעלתה. והנה, כדי להציל את כל העולמות במקום משכן אחד אשר עבורם, גזר נאצלנו ברוך הוא שנתפשט קו כאין ציור דק מאוד אין סוף העומד סביב. Okay, now this is the next notion now. Remember, where we're up to now, we're up to an empty space. We spoke about the Rishima, which is inside of that. That's the building blocks. But now what's happening over here around this ball of empty space, kivyochon, is much more than empty space. But right now, just to simplify it, outside of that space, it's called the O and Sof. Now let me just show you a little picture, just to give you an inkling. Again, we're not megashem over here. We're not holding any ideas that this is actually what it is. But it's just to give us a pointer. In how we can start thinking about things in order to give us a direction. Okay, so let me just show you some pictures which I drew, which is based on what the Rav Chaim Vital wrote or drew himself in the Etz Chaim. I just glorified these pictures. So what there was originally, let's say this is a white page, so there was a white O and so, which is called the O Ches. Now, then what created space? Okay. Now after that, Hashem introduced what's called the Kav. Let's see if this little white line over here. That's the Kav that came in. That originated from the O and Sof. So with this we call the O and Sof. We call that the O Chesed. The O Chesed was taken out, now put back in by a Kav. That means a Kav which is a line of light was instilled, and as it's coming in, it's twirling round and around like grooves on a record, and it goes in further, and it keeps going until to the point where it does all those rings. Those are called the igulim, and this white kav over here, this white line, is that the Ein Sof coming back inside. So again, it was taken out and put back in only by small amounts, and then eventually it's going to create what's this called. This is called the Adam Kadmon. We'll speak about that. Okay, so that's more or less what we're talking about here. This kav, this it's called a pipe. This pipe of light which is coming right in. That's what he's describing right now. Again, Gaza Matzil, Kadosh Baruch Hu, in Kabbalah it's called the Matzil. He's the creator. Baruch Hu. Yipashet kav ke'ein tzinor dak me'od ha'en sof ha'omed saviv. This is called the O and Sof coming back in, the infinite light coming back in, but mida or b'mishkal, only little bit at a time. V'yamshich el toch ha'chalal v'derech kav yored me'o and Sof ha'makif letoch ha'chalal b'mida or b'mishkal. So again, around this area, you have the O and Sof. in power. We can't live out there because it's just too strong for us. Hashem removes the light and introduces it back in. בשתי בחינות ירד אור אינסוף לתוך החלל. So again, as explained, it comes in two versions. בחינה א', עיגולים, בחינה ב', בחינת יושר. הנפער שם לפי סדר הגילותם, תחילה בחינת עיגולים, ואחר כך בחינת היושר. So again, the light comes in and twirls. That's called the igulim. We'll see the purpose for that. And then also comes in straight. So it comes in a version which is round and a version which is comes in. We'll explain. Igulim. So we're going to skip the, it comes in two parts of the Sefer. It's called the Pitchon Amara, that's according to the Ramchal, and his basic Kitzur. We're just going to be doing the Kitzur of the Otzot Chaim. Igulim de'ak. גילוי בחינת העיגולים הוא כי כאשר הקו בקע קו מאור אינסוף דרך צד אחד לתוך המקום החלל הזה, בראשונה לא ניפשר לקו ההוא ביושר הרבה, אלא נמשך פנימה מעט האינסוף המקיף. מיד מתחיל להתעגל בצורה גלגול, מתוך החלל הצמצום קרוב לשפת החלל. So I'm going to explain to you what it means. So again, we're imagining this empty, round, 360-degree cylinder. Piercing into it is the kav, a very strong but deliberate and very narrow beam of light, which is coming in, piercing into this black hole. And as it's piercing in, this introducing light into this black hole, it's curving around circular as the light is following the grooves of an invisible igulim, round circles. Okay, it's coming more and more, and it's coming more and more into the center. The kav, the beam of light, is coming more into the center, but not transversing all the way to the other side, because that would destroy the entire vacuum that there is there, but rather stops short from the other side. אחר כך, עם כל זה, אינו נוגע במדבק בצד השני, it doesn't go to the other side. כל ההיקשות של הנעצל, אז זה אם המאצילו אינו אלא בבחינת הקו נזכר, אשר דרך בו נמשך יורד אין סוף להשפיע בעיגול זה במידה ומשקל לפי ערכו של הנעצל זה. וזה גלגל הראשון נקרא גלגול ספירת כתר. So what happens again? It's going to come straight in. It's going to go round, and that first round circle is going to be called keter. Now, what if there's going to be 10 different names that we're going to be calling these different igulim? According to the sfirot, which are known to be keter, then chokhmah, bina. That is depending whether we count keter or not. That is the inverse of keter. So the exterior function of the sphera is keter, and the pnimiut, the inner workings, is called the dat. So usually we don't count them together. Then you have chesed, gvura, and then tiferet. And then the subsequent three are netzach, hod, yesod. And finally we have malchut. Okay, so each one of these are going to be called a dimension called keter, chokhmah, bina. It's going to, as you get closer in towards the circle, you're going to be calling them from keter into malchut. That's the way it works. Kivan, then it says, Kivan שנתגלה בגלגול הכתר, חז"ל התפשט קו האינסוף דרך פנימה מעט כלפי מרכז החלל, וברידתו נעגל בתמונת גלגול השני תוך גלגול הכתר. So within, now let's imagine now you have keter all around. Now within, remember it's 360 degrees. So we're imagining this as an onion. So it formed the exterior part of the world, of this empty space. Now you're going to have to fill in another cylinder within that. And then within that, so it's going to get smaller and smaller. That space is going to become smaller and smaller. So the next one is going to be called Chokhmah. והדרך זה, הנה הקו, זה נספש ויורד, ועם כל זה, הספשטות הזה, מתגלגל בצורת גלגל, כנסגל עד שנעצר בגלגול העשירי, גלגל ספירת המלכות. Again, more, until you get, but it still has space though. It still has space, blank space there. The last one is going to be called מלכות. ונמצא, בחינת המתקשרת כל העיגולים הנ"ל, הוא קו, אין סוף, מתפשט ויורד מהעיגול לעיגול. שעל ידו בלבד נתקשרים כל העיגולים זה וזה, אבל שאר הספירות העיגולים אינו מתקשרים לדבק כלל, ודרך הקו הזה נמשך שבע מן האינסוף ומקיף לכל עיגול ועיגול. Remember, so everything which is, all these circular rings, imagine they're a funnel within a funnel within a funnel for the funnel, כתר, חוכמה, בינה, דעת וחסד, גבורה, תפארת, נצר, הוד, יסוד, מלכות, are all attached by the beam of light which is coming, which is called the cav. Remember? Those are that's the function of the cav, to connect all of these interior funnels together. בזה נשלם ביאור גלגול האינסוף הראשונות בבחינת עיגולים, ונפרשתה בבחינת האינסוף דר יושר נתגלו באחריהם. Okay? So again, we're going to have these two forms of light. The first form, as he's explaining over here, are the igulim. These are powerful funnels of light. We'll explain what the functions of that exist, one within the other. And they are all connected by a very strong beam of light, which is called the Yosher, Kava Yosher. Okay, we'll stop here. We'll continue about the Yosher next class.